Anarchy is getting a massive nerf, and Bungie let us know in their latest This Week at Bungie last week, and since the Destiny 2 community has been mourning one of the greatest weapons since Gjallarhorn back from the original Destiny days. So today I'm going to have a look at some alternatives to Anarchy so you can be ready for that nerf when it comes around. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. And if you enjoy this week in video games content, consider becoming a channel member by hitting that join button down below for some exclusive rewards. Well, first of all, let's have a look at the update from Bungie and what they said. So, Anarchy has done too much, too well for too many years, even without counting the boost it's gotten this season, which is due to the Sweet Grenade Launcher artifact mods. So we're making changes that make it great at a couple of roles, rather than being the jack of all grenade launchers. Well, ominous words there from Bungie, and Anarchy was introduced as the raid weapon from the Scourge of the Past raid, with the drop rate being pretty rare. Now the weapon has been moved into the exotic kiosk in the tower, meaning you can get hold of it relatively easier than before when you had to rely on RNG in the raid. Well, Anarchy has been the go-to weapon for endgame PvE content since its release in summer 2019, so it's no wonder that Bungie has it in its sights. It's been the crutch that we've all used for dungeons, raids, Legend and Master Lost sectors, Nightfalls, and also especially Grandmaster Nightfalls too. So whenever a weapon dominates like this, Bungie tends to have it in their sights. You know, it happened to Recluse, it happened to Mountaintop, Spare Rations, Revoker, just to name a few, and now it's Anarchy's turn. We don't know exactly when Bungie plans to nerf Anarchy. The notification said it was going to be in the Season 15 upcoming sandbox changes, so it's likely to be sometime in Season 15, but we don't know whether it's going to be at the start or midway through the season. I would imagine it's probably going to be at the start, but that is yet to be confirmed. But watch this space and I'll be sure to let you know as soon as I know about any sandbox changes as they get scheduled in. Well, it's not all bad news though, as other weapons are going to rise to the top of the tree with this new meta. With that being said, let's have a look at some of the weapons that could take Anarchy's place. Well, first up we got Deathbringer. So Deathbringer is an exotic power rocket launcher, and this one comes with Dark Deliverance, so fires remotely detonated projectiles that drop void orbs on combatants, so you fire and release to detonate. Also comes with Dark Descent, so the further the void orb falls, the more powerful its detonation becomes. And this one is even more powerful now due to the Catalyst, making it great for DPS in PvE content. The Catalyst also helps us create orbs. So let's have a look at the Catalyst for a little bit. So once you complete the exotic Catalyst for the Deathbringer, it unlocks the Dead Weight perk and increases how quickly Dark Descent reaches its maximum damage bonus. So that means you don't have to aim as high as you did in the past to reach maximum damage. You can tell when you reach maximum damage as the numbers will be yellow rather than white when the void orbs detonate on the enemy. And to get the Deathbringer, you need to complete a quest on the moon, and it's likely you're going to need to own Shadowkeep. Well, next up we got the Two-Tailed Fox. This is another grenade launcher. This one is an exotic power rocket launcher again, and it's quite unique as it shoots both solar and void rockets together. So this one comes with the perks Twin Tail, so it shoots two rockets, one void and one solar, and they can track onto the same target. And also play with your prey, so the void rocket suppresses enemies and the solar rocket causes damage over time. So this one is especially powerful when paired with Argent Ordnance, the Charged with Light rocket mod that overpowers rocket damage when Charged with Light buff is active. So given this one has solar and void damage too, it's well worth picking up. It's really versatile. And to get this one, you can buy it from Zur when he's got it, or get it from a random world drop exotic engram. Well, next up we got the Sleeper Simulant. So Sleeper Simulant, it's one of the best DPS weapons in the game, plus it's really useful across a range of activities both for PvP and PvE and also Gambit too, and it is about to get a massive buff of 16.5% increase to its damage, so it's well worth adding to your arsenal if you haven't done so already. So on the subject matter of damage, the Sleeper Simulant inflicts extremely high damage per shot, making it a devastating weapon to use against bosses, and it can even penetrate close shriekers. So it was the subject of a nerf in previous seasons, as it was ruining Gambit with invaders wielding the very deadly Sleeper Simulant. It's also one of the best looking weapons of the game and has roots in Destiny 1. We can buy this exotic linear fusion rifle from the exotic kiosk in the tower, which you can find next to the vault in the tower called the Monument to Lost Lights. So land in the tower, go to the main courtyard, head over to the monument and look under the Red War Exotics category. And if you want some tips on how to get all the materials, I do have a specific guide on how to get the Sleeper Simulant on the channel. Well, next up we got XENOPHAGE. So XENOPHAGE is a machine gun for the power slot, and its main perk is pyrotoxin rounds, which fires highly powered explosive ammo. It's a solar weapon and it has max stats for impact, pretty good range for 71. It's a 120 RPM machine gun with 20 in the magazine. So it's a very strange machine gun, as normally they have a high rate of fire and lots of ammo, but this one is a little different. When it first came out, it was absolutely rubbish, but it subsequently got buffed, and now it's almost a must-have for any raid or endgame activity. I've definitely been taking it into the Vault of Glass recently, but as well as the pyrotoxin rounds, it comes with full bore for that increase in range and a small decrease in stability, high caliber rounds which knocks the target back further, rangefinder, and also composite stock. So you can pick this one up from an exotic quest on the moon, and you can check out the guide for XENOPHAGE on the channel. And also, Bungie say they're planning an update to machine guns in Season 15, so it's definitely one to look out for. We don't know whether it's going to affect XENOPHAGE yet, but I reckon it's one to keep an eye on. So machine guns in PvE, through playtesting and player feedback, we found they're not doing their intended job well enough, so we're planning a notable change for Season 15. So that sounds really, really tasty information. Well, and finally today we got the WITHERHOARD. So WITHERHOARD is an exotic kinetic grenade launcher originally introduced in Season of Arrivals, and its perks make it pretty devastating, and they include, so we've got Primeval's Torment, projectiles fired by the weapon blight the target or nearby area on impact. We've also got Break the Bank, so blighted targets take damage over time, and blight the nearby area on death. Looking at the stats, we've got 60 for impact, 67 for stability, 53 for handling, 40 for reload speed, 21 for velocity. It's a 90 rounds per minute grenade launcher with 6 in the magazine. So WITHERHOARD, it's an exotic grenade launcher in the kinetic slot and uses special ammo. It's one of the only exotic grenade launchers in the kinetic slot, so by that measure it's pretty unique. It also looks very, very cool too. When it was first introduced into the game, WITHERHOARD absolutely destroyed raid bosses due to the damage over time and the various buffs that were working with each other, and Bungie has since tweaked WITHERHOARD, but still really, really potent and really useful to put in a raid. So what you want to do is find the doorway where all of the ads come out, just put down a few WITHERHOARD shots, and then basically they're all going to die. And you can use this with Breach and Clear, probably the greatest mod in the game right now as part of Season of the Splicer, meaning you can weaken even the toughest boss or roaming mini-boss. So there's also the Catalyst 2 on the WITHERHOARD. It's got a couple of benefits. It drops orbs, obviously. You can track kills. And you've also got the Silent Alarm perk too. So with Silent Alarm, you get an increase in handling, allowing the weapon to be drawn faster and shooting it sooner than your opponents. And also when you holster the weapon, you'll get an automatic reload, which is fantastic because you can swap weapons, fire, swap back, and you'll find WITHERHOARD has been reloaded, which is really, really useful indeed, especially if you're using it in PvP. Don't use it in PvP against me because it's bloody annoying. So I think the smart money is on WITHERHOARD to climb the top of the PV charts. So if you haven't got it yet, I would definitely prioritise getting it. You can get this one from the exotic kiosk in the tower, otherwise known as the Monument to Lost Lights. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of the Anarchy nerf, and do you think it's needed, or do you think that Bungie are right? Well, that is it for this guide for the best weapons to replace Anarchy in Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week of Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. And if you're enjoying This Week in Video Games content, consider becoming a patron, and you can find out more on patreon.com/This Week in Video Games, where you can find loads of exclusive benefits. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.